You drove the front of your car into mine. Here's the cops.
Stop recording me, bitch.
Here's the cops.
Stop recording me, bitch.
Well, I'm pressing charges now. I'm pressing charges now.
Stop. You can't press charges.
I'm pressing charges.
You're recording me without my permission, bitch.
It's illegal.
I will do whatever I want.
Knock it off.
Yep.
Stop recording me, bitch. Stop recording me, bitch.
You just hit my phone.
Stop
You just
recording
hit
me,
my
bitch.
phone.
Stop recording me, bitch.
You just hit my phone.
Right. This bitch, he can't fucking record me without my permission. He's fucking recording me.
She just spit on me. She hit my phone.
Right.
She hit my car.
Right, this thing over here. Hold on. Let me put my phone in my pocket, you fucking pig. Let me put my phone in my pocket, you fucking pig.
Stop.
Bruh, this is it, bro. What the fuck is this shit? How you gonna arrest
Stop.
me?
You're not
bro?
under arrest right now. No.
How you gonna arrest me? Bro, I got places to be. Bro, I got places to be. What the fuck y'all on, bro? Bro, he can't record me without my
Yes, you
permission.
can.
That's
Yes,
fucking
you can.
the law.
Turn
No,
around.
it's not.
Stop.
He cannot record me.
And you can't hit.
Lock her up. Lock her up.
I am absolutely convinced that men don't actually want relationships. Like, men want their lives as is. They want to go about their day exactly as it is, do whatever they would normally do, and just want somebody there when it's convenient for them, or, you know, for the things they want to do. Like, convince me I'm wrong.
Nah.
This is the first month I won't be able to afford rent. I'm not a rich person. I don't have a lot of stuff. I have basic household necessities, a couch, a bed, washer, a dryer. That's about it. A car. I don't have a lot of lavish things. I don't go on vacations, and I don't spend a lot. Rent's increased from $1,300 to $1,800. The food prices are too high. I've cut back on eating because I literally cannot afford food. I've cut back on my favorite snacks, cat food, treats. I'm exhausted all the time from being overworked and underpaid. You don't catch a break when you grow up poor. I don't need much to be happy. I just want to be able to live comfortable. I just really need to catch a break right now. I'm trying so hard and I feel like I'm not doing enough.
I wonder what kind of policies were put in place to make that happen. Well, guys, women had a run at the title. They started the suffrage thing, formed syndicates, entered business, plowed their way into positions in government, participated in marches, altered the court system, changed child support laws, ran the Me Too gambit, all in an effort to fight their own shadow. It took a long time, but it looks like at this point, modern women are slowly starting to give up. Sure, we still have the fringe groups shaving their heads and going in for extreme procedures, but after layoffs, government overhaul, less marching, and many other failures, it looks like everyone is either tired or they just don't care anymore. And that's a good thing.
Does height matter in a guy?
Yes.
Even though men can't change their height.
But I can't change mine.
But you can change your waist size. So we're gonna measure your waist. And then...
No, you're not doing that.
Why not?
Actually women who are now calling men predators if they want to date a woman from a different country.
In other cultures, a lot of women are more submissive.
Yeah, they're pervy. Men are traveling overseas to countries that have less money and less education. It's because they want a woman who is dependent on foreign.
Because you can't handle women. That's why.
And this whole thing is so offensive and ignorant because basically what they're saying is that if a woman is not from the US and she's not woke, then she is uneducated, she doesn't have opinions of her own, and she can't be outspoken, and that's why men go for her. So the Western women think they are superior because they are empowered and awake, right? It's the women from other countries who are educated and can be just as outspoken and have opinions and actually can still look normal, which a lot of people here in the US seem to struggle with.
And they struggle with it because the world is changing around them. We're all moving on, treating the chants of the past like white noise. One of the key things that has come out of recent developments is that women, whether they like or not, are finally having to confront the fact that men have options. And more importantly, we have time. For the Western male, the roadmap is simple. If the opportunities for valuable relationships aren't available in the area, they just focus on the work, focus on improving themselves and whatever craft has good results, and then eventually make moves with their capital to start a life that fits their sensible needs. Women, on the other hand, are facing the clock. They've made their demands, inflated prices, and threw a massive tantrum when none of it made us want to participate. We're literally sitting there watching them go through the stages of grief. They backed the wrong horse, and now they don't understand how to recover from the loss because, unfortunately for them, the time is almost up. That, or they already passed the deadline and now have to deal with the consequences of the gamble. And, of course, one of the biggest reasons we know that they're losing is what we see in the media, and we don't see stories like "Women Don't Give Up" by Sally Jenkins. If everything is going well, and again, this is a good sign.
You seen the man?
No, I haven't.
The election of a woman president would have been the final infiltration, the last incursion into the tribal magic male inner circle. You could call it a busting of the hardest glass ceiling. You could call it the ultimate wrestling of control of the clicker, the thermostat, and the wheel. Of course, one pantsuit in the Oval Office would hardly have been compensation for the whole imbalance, every crummy dollar and cents difference, or sexist exclusion, but it would have been back pay. For women, running for president remains a radical and potent act. It's the last frontier of proven competence and confers a credibility that can't be earned in any other arena. Regardless of what anyone thought of the specific woman who sought the Oval Office, her victory would have had this beneficial effect on the Republic. She would have been seen in authority at the lectern with the impressively embossed seal, while a host of guys stood behind her, including a complicatedly ornamental first gentleman.
Yeah, sure, let's go with that.
This singular reversal of roles would surely have been a corrective, no matter what party or brand of first wave, third wave, millennial, radical, post-colonial, post-structural, postmodern, or anti-feminism you might embrace. As historian Stacy Schiff, prize-winning biographer of Cleopatra, Pharaoh Nabokov, and the Salem witches, said just before the election, "Doesn't anyone who has daughters think this is an opportunity to show we actually meant what we said when we told them they could do anything?" Until the unprecedented occurs. It's just something that could happen, but never has. The cause of Kamala Harris's loss was, of course, more complicated than sexism. Democrats misaimed their campaign. The electorate, men and women alike, found economic hardship to be a more pressing issue than reproductive rights, and Harris never convincingly separated herself from the unpopular president, Joe Biden. Is anyone shocked that she still doesn't get it? Anyone? I bet not. Sally, sweetheart, the reason none of this came to fruition doesn't have to do with the government. It doesn't have to do with policy. It doesn't have to really do with social issues. It's just that the U.S., with its many, many flaws, still stands, in many states, as a haven for masculine values. They're not celebrating the Olympics in drag and mass, and they're not openly accepting arbitrary programs. And what has managed to sneak through the cracks has been attacked like the common cold. Sure, a lot of coastal cities are a lost cause for the foreseeable future, but this election pretty much told the world that men have no interest in handing over institutions to people who would love nothing more than to dismember them and throw them into the river.
I'm just wondering what kind of options would be available to me. I'll give you a quick synopsis. I'm 42 years old. Last year I used to weigh 203 pounds.
None.
No, I'm not finished.
None. Yeah, you are.
Last year.
Yeah, you are.
Last year, this year I weighed 165.
No, ma'am, I said you're finished. You're finished.
I'm done?
Yep.
There's nothing left for me.
Not realistically.
Well, thank you.
I'm not going to lie to you.
Because I'm 42?
See, it's the age and the weight. And then if you have any children.
So my kids are...
Okay, ma'am, I don't need to... I don't want to sound like rude, but see, over 40 and you're obese and then you have children. Okay, the only way that there would ever be any chance for you is if you were gorgeous. And if you were gorgeous, you wouldn't be calling.
Jesus Christ. We're going to find out the probability that you're going to find true love, okay?
Tonight?
In general.
Okay.
So just answer these 4 easy questions and we'll find out.
Okay.
What is the perfect age range for your perfect guy?
Probably 26 to 30.
26 to 30?
Yep.
And what's your ideal race in a guy? What do you want your guy to be?
White.
How tall does he have to be?
At least 6'3".
I'm 6'3", but it's 2 different measurements. You get me?
Yeah.
Right. And what's the minimum income that he should make in a year?
I'll be nice. 75.
75? Okay, you like broke guys. I get it.
Make the same as me.
Well, based off of those results, the
Is it bad? Is it bad? Is it bad? Are you kidding?
Don't look at answers.
Show her. 0% of finding true love. Is that like a joke?
No, I'm dead ass. Like, that's...
Oh, damn. Okay.
All right, that's
so
all.
I'm not gonna find true love.
You will. I believe in you.
We don't. Because that statement she said pretty much gave everything away. Guys, modern women don't understand romance. That's not even a jab, not even a criticism. It's just straight fact. Biologically, their brains are wired to gather as many resources as they can for themselves. And honestly, that's not even a concern as long as the reality is acknowledged and the system is calibrated in accordance with that understanding. But it ain't. It hasn't been for, at least in the US, about 100 years. I think we can all agree that people who openly seek power have a bunch of problems. It could be psychopathy, vulnerable narcissism, or vengeance. And yet we all know that leadership is important. And regardless of how or why people seek power, well, what really matters is how they wield it when they get there. Sally here thinks it's that people cared more about the economy. And that, of course, contributed largely to the outcome. But you know what else played a role, Sally? Bravery, clarity, authenticity, and most of all, the mental software. The general drive to provide for others. That, propaganda aside, isn't a female trait. Launch! Still, there was much to admire in the way Harris ran her 107-day campaign. She competed with discipline and a unique kind of dash, and when a woman holds up with such firmness under the scrutiny and lights, something is gained for everyone.
Don't you ever let anybody take your power from you. You have the same power that you did before November 5th. And you have the same purpose that you did.
Similar to watching then neophyte Sarah Palin deliver a startlingly splendid speech at the 2008 Republican convention, whether you wanted to vote for her or not, there was a small shock of satisfaction that the hockey mom showed she was no one to fool with. There was a jolt of gratification at how Harris adeptly dealt with her own stinging nettle contest against opponents seeking to stun her with their crudity.
I heard a word I'd never heard before. I was told I was unbankable.
A self-admitted groper in Donald Trump repeatedly tolerated insinuations that Harris was a woman of the night and insulted her as dumb. His bro culture running mate, Senator J.D. Vance, jeered at childless cat ladies and called Harris trash. As Schiff observed, it was difficult to gauge whether any progress had been made since 2016 when Hillary Clinton ran and lost to Trump. Women are simultaneously more powerful and more in the crosshairs, Schiff says. The misogyny of the campaign told you that.
Jeez, what a bitch.
Every professional woman recognized the complicated matrix that Harris had to step gingerly through. Tripwires of pervasive implicit bias, a delicate balancing act between too soft and too forceful, while sloughing off a breathtakingly mean and overt sexism everyone would like to believe is outdated but isn't.
Don't hate the player, hate the game, son.
Rationally, it is easy to see how and why she lost, but there is nothing rational. In fact, there is something deeply uneasy-making about the intractableness of lingering sexism, and it's worth reviewing just how tenacious it is and the long arc of it. In 1964, the year Harris was born, women earned just 59 cents on the dollar compared to men. They could not sign contracts, serve on juries in some states, or go to Ivy League schools. Harvard would not fully accept women until 1977. In most jobs, pregnancy was a firing offense. Pan Am stewardesses, by company mandate, had to weigh no more than 130 pounds, maintain soft hands, and resign if they got married. Their retirement age was 32. Oh, Sally, I couldn't help but notice you forgot a small detail here. Oh yeah, and women were happier. Less pills, less therapy, fewer single moms, less disease, and more money. I swear, these chicks will point out completely rational policy, painted in a way where men just kept spouses in the attic, and claimed the dystopian hellscape of the modern West was this close to being feminist heaven. Sally, this war you're fighting, the one we're not even participating in, it's waged against yourself.
If women want a man that they are worthy of, and many of you are not getting men you are worthy of, then you need to then stop giving the one thing that men want the most. And that is unlimited amounts of all the time, bodies on the internet, because men will only view you as a visual stimulation and they'll move on. And if you disagree, you do not understand male nature.
True. What would you rate yourself on a scale of 1 to 10?
I would say a solid 7.5.
7.5?
Yeah. Maybe, you know, like a solid 8 when I'm wearing leggings.
Yo, what would you rate her on a scale of 1 to 10?
Probably like a 6.5.
6.5?
I can respect that.
I would say like a 5.
Damn.
You say he's a 5?
Yeah.
What make me a 5?
You're not my type.
I'm not Caucasian with blue eyes.
I've never even had with a white guy.
What's your type?
I like Caribbean.
Caribbean?
Yeah.
He's Barbadian.
Yeah, you in America though.
Americans don't even know what kind of ethnicity they are.
I beg your pardon?
If you ask them, they're gonna be like, oh, I'm black. They're not gonna tell you what really ethnicity they are.
You sound so ignorant right now.
You're allergic to facts, Sally. All of you are. And nothing makes this more evident than your manifesto here. Today, progress for women in the sciences has remained glacial. Only 28% of computer and math professionals are women. Women make up just 11% of investing partners at venture capital firms. Only 26% of law firm equity partnerships go to women. They hold only 8.2% of CEO titles at S&P 500 companies. 8 years ago, on the eve of Clinton's loss to Trump, former Merrill Lynch and Smith Barney chief executive Sally Krawcheck remarked, "We've made a lot more noise than we've made progress." The same can still be said.
Why don't you shut up?
Well,
Sexism is by no means the story of this election, but it was by no means irrelevant either. It was one of the prisms through which Harris can be seen, and the vision of a woman she projected was gratifyingly complicated, somehow triumphal even in losing, and utterly lacking in grievance or complaint. She embodied the maxim that Efron put forth in that 1996 speech at Wellesley. Above all, be the heroine in your life, not a victim. Harris is just that, with her own highly idiosyncratic brand of strength. But you guys are victims, at least in your heads. You've made it a profession, and that's exactly why the country decided you weren't leadership potential. It's not in your nature. It never was. That's the story, lady. It's why you are begging for the cult to return to the fold, not a strong look. Regardless of what kind of colorful language you choose to use, to forget that.
Exactly, because no matter how smart they are, if they talk long enough, they always gonna say something stupid. And that is why I love me a quiet king. Like, if I go on a date and I gotta compete for airtime and conversation, like, immediate deal breaker. Because as a man, why do you have so much to say? Shut up. Like, go pay a bill. Go cut some grass. Go build something. And do it quietly.
You're just a bitch. Honestly, that's not me trying to be some after-school special shit. You really are a bitch. Real men ain't doing it. Real men don't care about that gossipy bullshit. Get to work, man. I know why you go on Instagram. I know why because you just have the time. You have the time because you don't want to put that time into bettering oneself. Get back to fucking work. It's time to get back to work. Stop hearing yourself talk. Get off the podcast. Don't be on social media too much. Cut out all the fucking noise. Get back to the fucking mental lab.
Ignore and outperform them. You keep gossiping and I'll keep working. You keep talking smack and I'll keep working. You keep focusing on everything and everyone else and I'll keep working.
There's no hacks, bro. It's you against you.
You will lose and I will win.
If you made it to the end of this video, I want to say I appreciate you. So don't forget to hit that like button, drop a comment to have a chance to win, and hit that sub button for daily videos. And if you could take a quick sec to subscribe to the second channel, Man Guide Reacts, link is down below in the description, so we can be sure that our message will keep on reaching the new men out there. I appreciate all the support, y'all, and I want to wish you all tremendous success.